Good evening and welcome to the Arsepool or Clash of the Titans, Clash of the Reds podcast. I don't even know the name of our own podcast. That shows how late in the day it is. And I probably still got a bit of a hangover from yesterday's New Year's Eve celebrations. Don't tell my parents about that word though. Welcome again for those of you that are joining us. This is episode 16 of our ongoing podcast. And I'm joined by two of my esteemed colleagues, associates, members of staff who will be assisting me today. For starters, let's get cracking with Zahid, who has chosen to describe his emotional state and also his dress sense, which is pure shite. Hello, Zahid. How are you doing today?
Just like to say, welcome to another day in the life of pure shite football viewing. What a shit weekend out, game week of football. Couldn't have been worse.
Well, as my next guest, Mr. Daniel, would say, we'll leave it for the pod. So we'll keep that kind of tension simmering. And obviously, our other guest is a man who has redefined the word gooning from something inappropriate to something gracious by the greatest manager of all time, Arteta. Hello, Daniel. How are you keeping, sir?
Hello, Doug. How are you?
I'm
good, bro. 4 points clear. 4 points clear. Beating Aston Villa. Beating Mr. XG Defier Unai as well. 4-1 at the Emirates on Tuesday. Man City drawing today. It's good, man. It's good.
Your connection dropped up a bit there, so for all the viewers that were unsure what you said, basically Daniel just said he's a massive fan of Unai Emery, and he's particularly worried about City building up momentum and catching up with him, something along those lines.
I think I caught him saying that Emery should replace Arteta as well, but
Yeah,
I could be mistaken.
I heard that as well, funny enough. I don't think Daniel actually... I'm just messing with. This is what happens when they make me host for one day. Brilliant. Right, so we've got a packed show. There's obviously been quite a few things that have happened over the past few days. And I think actually a couple of hours ago, we had a very key result between Manchester City and Sunderland. But we're going to start with all things Arsenal at the moment. So Daniel, please contain your excitement. If you have any comments you'd like to send through, any questions, please make use of the chat function. If you enjoy the stuff that we're doing, smash the like button and subscribe. We like to produce this content as much as we can. Daniel, over to you, sir. You guys managed to beat Unai Emery's rampant Villa squad. Was it 3-1? Oh, yeah, it was 4-1, sorry. And now with City dropping points, it seems to have been a pretty pleasant end to the year for you guys. And start to the year as well.
So we ended the year in great fashion, pumping Aston Villa 4-1, as I mentioned. Before that, we did beat Crystal Palace 1-1 on penalties last week. Again, should have been out of sight way before it even got to the stage of getting to the second half. Arsenal kind of continuing that, but yeah, like it was a really weird state of affairs with the Palace match, because came into it thinking if we lose, whatever, but the fact that it went to penalties really did build up that tension. And yeah, we beat Palace through to the semis to meet Chelsea, and then Saturday comes along, we face Brighton 2-1 at the Emirates. Again, we should have been out of sight on XG. 15 shots to 0 in the first half. Verbruggen could have been sent off for a very cynical challenge on Gyökeres. It gets to 2-0, and then Arsenal let Brighton off the hook that they get into the match. Brighton make a fantastic save, and we end up holding on for all 3 points, which wasn't the best way to kind of end that game. And, you know, going into Tuesday, Declan Rice gets injured in that Brighton match. I think the fan base were probably in meltdown over hearing that news. And then it turned out to be a very, very tense first half. Very well. Villa did a good job of slowing the game down. I think Zahid called it haram ball, if I'm not mistaken. But it wasn't haram ball from Arsenal. It was haram ball from Aston Villa. There was a stat there that from Scott Willis that the game in playtime was only 18 minutes, and referee Darren England only gave 3 minutes of added time. So they had a good tactic of slowing the game down and like delaying Arsenal from kind of gaining any momentum, and transitioned on us really, really well on 2 occasions. Onana getting free, Arsenal making a mistake with Gabriel trying to pass out to Gyökeres. Gyökeres unable to control it. Watkins really should have done better with his shot. And then when Onana did get breakthrough, Saliba having to make a last-ditch challenge that turned out to be offside. So yeah, the Emirates was a nervous place on Tuesday. And then as soon as Gabriel gets his header in, it's just ecstasy. Like the handbrake was off, to borrow an Arsene Wenger quote. The team kind of relaxed and took more risks. Odegaard and Martin Zubimendi were just kind of pulling the strings. And Villa couldn't live with us. Like they had 10 minutes in the first half they didn't capitalize on, and we kind of had 10-15 minutes where they just couldn't come close to us at all. So yeah, the goals did come home. Like the XG came home to roost, if you like, on both sides. Like Aston Villa, 11 wins on the trot, defying the XG gods, if you like. And Arsenal, like only scoring 1 goal out of a possible 9 XG in their preceding game. So this was coming. This was absolutely coming. Well, weirdly enough, Arsenal conceded something like 0.67 XG in the 92 minutes, and then went on to concede another 2 XG from the 92 minutes point onwards. So it was just really, really weird.
Can I just interject quickly?
Yeah, go on.
I just need to fulfill something that Ozzy's been waiting to hear. But yeah, that XG has been coming. It's been coming like his porn stash that he's wearing right now. But anyway, carry on.
By the way, I love how your connection was dropping throughout, and the only thing that went through was XG. I'm like, oh, there we go. Carry on with your cautious analysis. I know deep down you're gooning quite a lot over this result, because we spoke last week extensively about how Villa would be the tricky game. I was kind of hoping Emery would kind of, good evening, all those Arsenal supporters. But yeah, it was pretty rampant, wasn't it? Ruthless, 4-1. I probably would have expected maybe a 2-2 or 3-2 type result, but 4-1 was pretty comprehensive. Sorry.
You did predict an Arsenal loss. You predicted Villa would beat us, I believe, on our group chat. But yeah, like, again, like the fan base was worried, man. Like Rice not playing, him being our best player over the last month or so. The fact they literally beat us within the same month as well. And I think maybe Arsenal and Arteta maybe used that defeat as kind of motivation, especially when it came to the second half. Whatever Arteta said at half time, it worked really, really well.
Bulbs.
Say again, Zahid?
No light bulbs.
Maybe it was a light bulb, man. Who knows?
I think he's probably improved his half-time team talk since then.
To be honest, how are you feeling now, especially after the City result? Would you still say cautious optimism, or is this kind of like the little bump that's historically kind of ruined Arsenal that you're kind of navigating, or with the Rice injury?
Yeah.
Talk to me, Goose. What's your story?
I think we saw from that Aston Villa game how important Gabriel Magalhaes is to this Arsenal team. Like scoring that crucial headed goal, and then when it got to like 3-0, him beating his chest, like laying out that primal roar, like geeing up the crowd, like honestly, like he is like the heart and soul of this Arsenal team. Like I think I used the phrase before, he's our defensive identity, and having him back has just been a massive help. Like we had our blip without him in the team, and him being there just massively helped us. similarly as well, like looking at the likes of Martin Odegaard, like he was coming back from injury. He was just sublime in that game, man. Like his interceptions, his passes, Zubimendi. I was really, really impressed with Zubimendi as well. Like blocking up play, really, really well taking goal for his second. Yeah, man, it seems to be clicking just at the right time for us. Just as we're getting our players back as well. Kai Havertz making the bench, and Gabriel Jesus coming off the bench for Gyökeres and burying it in the bottom corner. Like, yeah, man, it was really, really happy days. Like, even if City had won today, I'd still say there's a very, very long way to go. But like, I've been optimistic since that Everton match, the last time we spoke. Like, we weren't getting kind of transitioned on that much since then. We looked like Arsenal again, I think was the phrase I used before. And yeah, man, like, and again, it's no surprise as soon as Gabriel's off, as soon as Saka comes off, like the intensity dropped, and obviously kind of let Villa not back into the game, but like we let them kind of get back into our box again, and yeah, they managed to get the consolation goal. But yeah, bro, it's happy days. 2 big matches coming up. Bournemouth on the weekend, and then of course Clash of the Reds, one of the Clash of the Reds derby, Arsenal Liverpool next Thursday, which we can discuss later on. I can see Zahid's like dreading this game already.
Honestly, I can predict a result now.
All right.
Anyway.
We'll come to that. We'll come to that.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with. I mean, that's why Daniel, I've got my status as Arsenal Premier League champions. It's not rage baiting. It's not trolling. I generally feel like Arsenal just looks really well oiled, and you've often made these really blank assertions. So let's have it out now. Yeah, let's do the Delia Smith style. You've always put it out there that I'm anti-Arsenal. This that. I'm anti-Arsenal fans. So come at me in the comments if you want. I don't mind Arsenal's style of play. I think they play really good football. That's why I've called them Premier League champions. Because you Arsenal fans, yeah, Delusion FC, you guys, I swear, I think this is the problem. You guys are putting a strain on the NHS here with the amount of delusional talk that you guys bring out there. Okay? Nobody has a problem with Arsenal playing well or winning. Everybody has a problem with Arsenal fans. But I think cautious optimism is fair. But I don't know. I think after City's result, I do feel like the title's probably 50% in the bag now, at least. Yeah, man. I just
4 points is nothing, man. It's literally it's one win and a draw.
No, but 4 points against the City side from a couple of years ago, the one that Liverpool was going up against, it's a nothing. But this year, for some reason, I just feel like, I mean, Liverpool's not contending. Villa probably would drop off now. City, I don't know. I think this might be their peak. They're too up and down. They need to be on autopilot, and they haven't shown that kind of like ruthlessness yet. Maybe it'll come, but I don't know. I just can't see Arsenal bottling it now. I wish they would. But yeah, I just can't see it happening.
Like, go on, Zahid, you had a point.
I think, like, from the Brighton game, basically you held on for the win. That was cautious optimism going into this game against Aston Villa. I think
I have to stop you, man. Like, we didn't hold on for the win, man. Like Saka should have buried a chance. Martinelli should have buried a chance. Like, it wasn't like they were peppering our goal. Like. That really wasn't the story of the game.
Yeah, but you didn't take your chances. Like, if those chances didn't go in and they did score, then like you would have just rued what didn't go on. Anyway, the Aston Villa game. Aston Villa didn't play their football. They played to try and stifle you, which was ridiculous to see. And they played so narrow, and they especially. So I started watching that as soon as the second half whistle went. And as soon as I turned it on, you bloody scored and ruined. I was just like, I'm going to close my laptop. Like, why am I watching this? But after that first goal went in, they just had this insistence on playing out from the back. And you were just pressing them. And then that's how you got the rest of I think at least the second and the third goal. The goal, the Odegaard to Zubimendi, that was a beautiful pass and a beautiful finish. So I can't deny that. But yeah, I mean, this is the kind of game you would have drawn or lost last season, or seasons gone by, I should say. But yeah, I mean,
we literally drew this last season. We were winning 2-0, and we ended up drawing it 2-2.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like these are the kinds of games in years gone by where you either wouldn't have got the rub of the green or something would have happened and there would have been a reason why you lost this game. But yeah, you were mentioning Gabriel, literally captain of Petty FC. Like, did you see his celebration at the end of the game? He was copying Onana's celebration. Like, honestly, like he's the leader of your Petty fans, man. Honestly,
The only thing he lacked was a
all the
camera, wasn't
same.
it, from last year?
it's just nonsense. But listen, if you're gonna win the title, you can talk the talk.
You want to talk about Petty, man? Like, let's talk about Emi Martinez, bro. Like the biggest crybaby in football, man. Honestly, like this guy. Like I said, the ball was in play for only 18 minutes. There was only one person who was allowed to dictate play in that game. That was Emi Martinez in that first half, and Darren England just did not get control of that game.
That's true. The ref was a shocker. But I mean, even wasn't there? I mean, Martinez was disrupted for that goal. I'm pretty sure Gabriel. I think he headed his arm or something for him to lose the ball. There's some intention, but the ball's in the air to be played.
What was funny, right? You want to talk about Petty, right? What was funny was in the build up to the goal, Martinez was literally pulling Gabriel, and as you went up to head it, like naturally there's going to be a bit of contact. And Martinez on his Insta snatched, took a picture of the elbow going into him, like elbow allow or something. And then like at full time, like trying to fight like some Arsenal fan, like come on, bro, like if there's any time for go down the tunnel, it's at that moment, like go down the tunnel, man. Like you just lost the game. Don't go and try and start fights with fans in the crowd, man. Like honestly.
I'm not here to defend Martinez. He's a former player of your team, yeah. So I'm not surprised whatsoever, to be honest. But yeah, it's just. I mean, honestly. I think the title's a formality, really, at this stage. Like, with the games we've got left.
Come on, man. We're literally it's the 1st of January, and you're saying the title's a formality.
Listen, as an Arsenal fan, I know with the pain that you've suffered for the however many years of bottling it, I understand why you have to be cautious in your approach. But as a neutral, it's going to start getting boring, man.
Yeah.
Unless you lose a game or two, then we might get interested again. But otherwise, it's just like, yeah.
Also, Unai Emery's joined the chat. Hello, Unai. Good evening as well. You probably come to our podcast to get some tips. Just pass the bloody ball, as Mick McCarthy would say. But yeah, Daniel, I mean,
and speaking about Petty, right? Like beginning of the month, Arsenal lost fair and square at Villa Park. Mikel Arteta shakes Unai Emery's hand. Now this guy storms off and then has the audacity to lie to the cameras and say that he waited for Mikel Arteta. Like cameras aren't there at the Emirates or something, man. Like, come on. Like, you know about Petty is
slight
like,
segue, yeah. Why do you hate Unai Emery so much for now? I need to know. Like, I don't hate any of United's ex-men. I don't like Moyes, but I don't dislike him. But why do you hate Unai Emery so much?
I don't hate Unai Emery. I don't hate Unai Emery. Oh, what I dislike, I'm very careful with my words. What I dislike is the discourse around him, and the discourse and this idea and this notion that Arsenal would be miles better off or would have like 3-4 league titles now if Arsenal kept him. Like, look, he's a good coach. But probably the wrong coach at the wrong time for Arsenal. He went on to other things, won another Europa League at Villarreal. He had the opportunity to get us top 4. He didn't by playing Carl Jenkinson at right back and resting players at Crystal Palace, which we ended up losing. He had another crack at the whip where we got to a European final and then ended up losing 4-1 to Chelsea. It seems like a popular scoreline for Unai right now. But like, yeah, bro, like I don't hate the guy, but I just don't like this discourse that Arsenal will be miles better off if we kept him. Like, it's just incorrect. And you know, his style of play is designed to draw teams on. Like, Arsenal were conceding 30 shots at home to Wolves, 30 shots away to Watford. Like, that's not how Arsenal are built to play football for a big club. And that was kind of my only really bone of contention with Unai Emery. Again, he's doing really, really well. right now, but I think, like you said, Ozzy, like they are gonna. I predict them to drop off, but they'll be in and around the Champions League spots come the end of the season. For sure.
Well, do you not feel like he was kind of given a poison chalice when after Wenger left? A lot of Arsenal fans just automatically assume that, oh, we're going to become a big club again because every other club has changed managers and they're suddenly getting results. And maybe Unai, I feel like I genuinely think
that at all.
I mean, I genuinely feel like if he had the players that Arteta had right now, he may have won silverware with them. I just feel like the players Arteta has right now are pretty bloody good, and I can see Arteta winning something with these players. But then I also feel like he probably lacks the mental strength to kind of sustain it. I don't know why, because I feel like with Arteta, he kind of has like these shit fits too often. When things don't go in his favor, he shows us his like Turkish dental teeth work. He said, "This case, you know." I think I don't know.
That happened once, right? That happened once against Newcastle, and he immediately turned it down after that. He had one outburst in that Newcastle game 2 seasons ago, and all of a sudden now there's this narrative about Arteta, about him being a whinger, about him being a moaner, about him always complaining. Whereas the irony is, right, leading up to this game, it was Aston Villa who was complaining about the fact that they had to play Arsenal at the same time in the same month. Like it's not an Arteta problem, it's not an Arsenal problem. Like again, managers complain all the time, but like again, I do think he's been kind of tarred with an unfair brush, Arteta. And unfortunately, like if he'd won a league title, then maybe some of these criticisms wouldn't be directed at him. But yeah, go on.
Zai, do you want to jump in, please?
I mean, people were clipping up quotes from Arteta last season, left, right, and centre. I mean, it was happening all season. Like, come on, like you could be in denial if you want, but yeah, he said some funny things last season. But I mean, Slot has said some ridiculous things this season, so I'm not exactly going to say. I mean, when your team's winning, there's not much to complain about, right? But when your team's not winning, then there's a lot to complain about. So I think it's just the way it is. And you mentioned about if Unai Emery had the squad that Arteta has. Arteta's cultivated this squad himself. He's chosen the squad of his team. He's created the culture that he wants. So it would never be the same. But yeah, I mean, looking at the way Emery decided to play against Arsenal and try and stifle their play, like I don't know, they just got their comeuppance. Like, what do you expect? If you're not going to play your football, then you should expect this to happen. I mean, but they are designed, for the quick break on the counter, so they have to kind of absorb a lot of that play. But yeah, I mean, if as a fan of a like a big six team, like Danielle said, I wouldn't want to be sitting back, taking on pressure, taking shots. Like you want to be the one that's dictating the play, that's controlling the game. But I mean, we could talk about United and the way Amorim sets up his teams if you want. That would be a good segue to go on to United.
And as well, like talking about responsibility.
He started now.
No. But let's talk about responsibility because, in my opinion, Arteta's always kind of taken responsibility for defeats when things haven't gone his way, like especially when we finished 8th a couple of years in a row. Like my chest is here, come hit me, guys. Like he's accepted on the chest. Amorim. So after kind of getting a result, so I'm kind of taking over hosting duties here, Ozzy, but after getting a result at Newcastle by changing formation, what did he say, Zad? Because we spoke about this, didn't we? What did he say?
He said before in the press conference after the midweek before this game week, he said that. So earlier in the season in September, he said, basically paraphrasing, he said, "Not even the Pope could make me change my formation." And now he's saying that it's time to change formation. Like, what is he on about? Like, he loses Bruno and now he has to change his entire formation. Now he decides to play 4 at the back. And now he says that maybe he said something along the lines of that at that time, at the beginning of the season, he was trying to create an identity for the team. So he was adamant he wasn't going to change the formation because that was going to be the identity of the team moving forward. He loses one player in midfield and then suddenly the whole system now has to change. And now he says that, but that was back then. Now I've got that identity. Now I can change the identity and the players can adapt because I've got players to play in that system, but it's the same players that you had at the beginning of the season. It's just utter nonsense.
And what I find kind of like laughable as well was he said like I couldn't change my formation because it would seem to the players that I'm bowing to media pressure. But like the mere fact that he's mentioning it in a press conference suggests that the media is in his head, that he's being played on by the media, and like it was just bizarre against Wolves. Like I watched the highlights yesterday to kind of get an idea about what happened in that match. Like he takes Xerxes off and then kind of changes formation and basically like gets XG'd out by the worst team possibly in the history of the Premier League by Wolves. Like it was really, really bizarre. And you know, Gary Neville was having a bit of a fit, wasn't he?
I think he even didn't he move. I think Dorgu was playing on the right in the game against Newcastle or something, and he moved into the left.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
and he played Xerxes as a right winger, who basically provides no width whatsoever. Like I don't think he understands his team, or I don't know if he's had enough time to try and get them to understand this shifting system in the few days he's had in training. I don't know what's going on, but. I mean, and they almost gave Wolves their first win of the season.
They almost did. And Newcastle, in fairness, like if they were a bit more clinical, they could have got something from that match as well. So yeah, bro. Like, I mean, Doug, you were right in your short with me on the weekend. Like, I asked you as Amram turned the corner, and you can just paraphrase what you said again, man. Like.
Yeah, United should be sponsored by Confused.com, man. They've got no direction here. Seriously, they're like a really bad version of One Direction, no direction. They just, I don't get excited when United wins a game, you know, because I know the following week is just going to be just a complete shit show. Oh, can I swear? Of course I can. It's 11:34. Of course I'm going to swear. I still think he's done okay this season compared to where they were last year, and I think he's probably got another whole season within him. I'd like to think maybe next season he could be doing what Emery has been doing with Villa, but again, he's a bit clueless. But I don't want to be too harsh on him. I still think he's a good manager. I just think this United side has just been so dysfunctional for so long that he has to try and bring together some stability. But yeah, we'll see what happens. You know,
I think United are doing what they do with players and with managers. They can make good players shite. They can make good managers shite as well. I don't know what it is about that club, honestly. It's
a toxic club, honestly. Someone sent in a comment, user looks like something like the Matrix. I won't read that username. I think he's out of his depth, emoji. Although I doubt he'll be sacked anytime soon. Yes, that's just what we said. So thank you for repeating. Look, United's a merry-go-round club. You know, I'm only wearing the shirt because I got it for a good price from the Adidas outlet store. Check out the O2. But no, on the level, it's just a weird club. It's like I had this argument with this gentleman here on my right, who seems to think that the managers that we've had at United post-Fergie, aside from Mourinho, haven't been good. We've had great managers at United. Van Gaal's a quality manager. I still believe Ten Hag's a great manager. Van Gaal, excuse me, that Ajax team, I was only a toddler walking around trying to shove stuff up my nose, but even I knew back then that Ajax team of 93, 94 changed football. Even your greatest player ever, who achieved his greatest accomplishments outside of Arsenal, said, this Ajax team is great. It's amazing. It's great. So, yeah, don't ever diss Van Gaal, you know. I think he should have come right after Moyes. Right before Moyes. There's some NSFW comments that Zaid has been sending me in the chat. Just have to block him. Stop it, Zaid. This isn't appropriate. But yeah, no, United's directionless. I mean, they'll probably finish 7th or 6th this year. Next year will be the real challenge. I mean, there isn't much I can say about the game either. 1-1 against Wolves, for God's sake. They should have pounded that team. You know, they're sitting top of the table. But this is the same United side that will draw 1-1 with Wolves and then they'll beat City, like 3 or 4-0, something stupid like that. And then they'll hand you guys the title, unfortunately. So, yeah.
Hope, man. One can hope. One can hope. Hopefully Bruno will be back by then, and Burmo and Ahmad a bit more firepower for United at that point. But
I love it. You just saying
in the last game that
again.
Mbeumo got benched at half time in his last game that he played. I think he plays for Cameroon, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he got benched. He got benched at half time. So I don't know what's happening there. But yeah, I feel like United again are sort of classically you see them as a counter-attacking team. Wolves are not going to attack. They're going to sit back clearly. So there's going to be some stifling of the play there. Although Wolves they don't have like bad players. Like they've got Hwang Hee-chan, they've got Strand Larsen, I think. They still got Strand Larsen.
Newcastle are really excited by him. Jose Sarr is a really good keeper as well.
That absolute huge beast they have up front. What's his name? Arokadare, I think.
Arokadare, yeah, the one who scored against us, yeah.
Yeah. So they've got decent players, man. So I'm surprised they're doing so badly, but yeah.
It's they've had players just that team's been decimated, right? Like from a couple of seasons ago with Neto going, to Cunha going, obviously to Man United last year. Like some of the key players have ditched the ship, so to speak. But yeah, it's really weird this Premier League season. Like Liverpool currently in fourth, but closer to Leeds in points than they are to Arsenal in first, and Leeds are currently in 16th. So it's just really weird. Like it's really condensed and tight. I guess that's a good kind of segue to Liverpool's matches. And again, you did beat Wolves on the weekend as well, like just kind of scraping past them, right? So tell me the story of that match, because I was at the Brighton game.
So I think, I mean, the goals that we scored were good. It was good to see Ekitike and Works link up play. Good. I think the two goals that we scored were good, but then other than that, I think we didn't really do much else in the game. Wolves got their goal, and yeah, I mean, towards the end of the game, we just kind of sort of like were clinging on to keep clinging on the win, and I was just like, what is this? Like, we're Premier League champions, and this is how we're playing football. It was good to see the goals that we got, but it was still alarming in terms of most of the gameplay that we had throughout the game. It was good to get the win anyway and get up into fourth. I thought that would be a good confidence boost for the players as well as the manager. Now, leading into the game today, I think Gakpo was on the bench. Let me bring up the thing actually. But yeah, so we played. It was absolutely shite. It was a shocking game. Nothing really happened, except, to be honest, in the first in the first half, Frimpong was great on the wing. Excellent play. He is rapid. All of our outballs were coming through Frimpong on the right wing. So that was good to see. But it was basically Frimpong, Wirtz, and Ekitike where all of our play was happening. And even then, we weren't fantastic, to be honest. We had a few chances. Obviously, the headlines are that Ekitike missed the sitter. But I think the way that Frimpong crossed the ball, it kind of ended up being. Oh, was it? It wasn't Frimpong that crossed the ball. Anyway, it was kind of behind him when he went for the header, and he ended up going. Basically, it looked like he was defending the box. But yeah, we didn't have too many chances. We didn't have enough width on display. We don't really have. Again, we're missing that Luis Diaz kind of player on the left side of the pitch. The only real player we have off the bench who can do that kind of work is Rio and Mua. And I mean, since the beginning of the season, he's kind of disappeared. Chiesa also was playing. He came on as well, but again, I don't know what's going on with Chiesa. We're basically having a bit of a shocking performance. We started the game quite slow as well. Like Van Dijk got caught on the ball. There were some wayward passes. It was a very slow start to the game. But yeah, we should have won, and it's just more of the same, really. I don't know. The best football we've played in recent years has been where we pressed from the front, and Slot continued that last season, and it was successful. So I don't understand why he's decided that now, like in his second season, he's going to decide to change how we play so much. But maybe maybe he was thinking that the pressing style of football is now sort of being superseded, especially with the way PSG played last season and things like that, especially against
More
us.
direct. Yeah.
But I feel like if it works, why change it? We've got the players who can play that kind of system. Obviously, we've lost Diaz on the left, but we've not got Salah for AFCON. But still, like our best chances that we had actually in that first half, especially, were when we pressed from the front. And I don't know why we're moving away from that. It's really frustrating. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm getting annoyed with Slot and his decisions. Let's see what happens in January. This month. See who we bring in, and how the team can shift going forward. And with Salah coming back from AFCON, I do not think we're going to defend our title. I think that's gone out the window. I think we just have to focus on Champions League positions, and that's the best we can get now this season.
And then the FA Cup's still on. Still in the Champions League.
But the league is a priority, right? And being champions.
Some fans still believe that the title's on, you know.
Azai, don't take the bait.
Every
He's
club's
trying to
got
troll
delusional
you, trying
fans,
to troll you.
Okay, cool.
But I probably know the answer, but do you think they look better without Salah at the moment, or is it still a different week, same shit?
I think we need someone like Salah, actually, because he's the kind of player in games like this where there's nothing happening, who then might have a spark and could change the game. Obviously, we're missing Isak as well. We're missing Isak and Salah, actually. But yeah, it was just too much sloppy play in general. It was a bit slow. I'm not happy with the performance of the team, to be honest.
Zahid, are you more upset with Liverpool drawing, or are you more upset with City drawing against Sunderland?
I think I'd probably say that this is how I expected the season to go, because City have not necessarily been, since the beginning of the season, they've not been at their best, even though they're not far off from you. City at their best are a steamrolling machine for the league. They know how to win it. Pep has done it year after year. He knows what to do. But this season, I think it's weird to say that, considering they've got players like Cherki, they've got Haaland. But yeah, it's strange to see, but it's not completely unexpected. I mean, Sunderland had absolutely amazing performance today. Considering Sunderland's last game, Brobby, he had absolute stinker. Every chance he got, he missed. But today, I mean, there was the first chance that they had. I think he was bullying Diaz off the ball, showing his strength. Adingra had an amazing game, the last game as well. Scored a great goal. So yeah, I mean, I think Sunderland they've just got that momentum. They've got that team belief. They've got that team spirit. So I'm not surprised.
And the
result, really.
I'm undefeated at home this season.
Their defensive capabilities are incredible. I've got their goalkeeper and their centre back in my fantasy team. So that tells you enough.
Dan Ballard.
Oh no, Alderete.
Alderete. Okay. Yeah.
By the way, can we all really quickly smile so that we can put Mo's concerns to bed in 3, 2, 1? Are you happy, Mo?
He's talking about me and you, not about Daniel. No,
I've been happy all day. What are you on about? The only reason I've got a gloomy face is I think my cat's done a dump and the smell is COVID. I know I don't have COVID because I can smell it, yeah. But yeah, thank you, Mo, for your question. It's evening, not evening. I don't know what you're trying to get at there with that little comment. Dog needs to put that quote on a t-shirt. Same S***T. Same slot? Don't know what you're on about.
Same slot another day.
I would, but I have to say, I don't know if the outlet store allows you to print. You've got to be very conscious in these times, cost of living and all that. Thank you for your contributions, Mo. Movo, three back. Oh, never mind. We're still on Liverpool, aren't we? So Zaid, would you say the season's over and done with for Liverpool? Now it's just salvaging some degree of respectability, or would you say?
Yeah, like I said, it'll be Champions League positions. See how we go in the cup runs. FA Cup, I'm not really bothered about. The Champions League is the main one. At least getting somewhere, going on a run to an extent, like getting further on in the competition. The way we played today, I don't expect us to go far in the competition, to be honest. But yeah, I think just shoring up that top 4 position is the main aim now for the rest of the season. If we can, move up the table a bit, or at least, potentially close the gap to Arsenal, that'll be great. So it's a bit more respectable when it comes to the end of the season. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, like looking at the stats from the game today, we had 1 big chance. We had 19 shots on target. We had 19 total shots compared to Leeds 4. Our XG was 1.96 compared to Leeds, which is 0.68. But I mean, we dominated with those. We had 633 passes compared to Leeds 290. But we just couldn't break them down. But we didn't have. We've got players with pace, but it just didn't come off really.
It's hard playing against a low block, right? Like low block teams with basically putting all 11 men behind the ball. Like it's really hard to break that down. We saw with Man United versus Wolves. See Leeds again today. Arsenal struggled against Wolves a couple of weeks ago. Like it is tough. But
it feels like this season is becoming the season of defense. Like there's lots of teams who are playing really well defensively. Like, oh yeah, actually, I was going to ask you about Arsenal when you mentioned Gabriel Jesus. Would you start him over Gyökeres now that he's back fit and he scored a goal off the bench?
I thought he scored from Liverpool. It's interesting. Our January schedule is just insane. Like we've got games left, right, and centre, like in all 4 competitions. League Cup semis, Portsmouth away in the FA Cup, Champions League fixtures. Like what I think we do need to do is use the squad appropriately. I think once Gyökeres kind of gets a goal, like an open play goal under his belt, like he did quite well with his header in the first half. I thought maybe not the first header, but the second header that he had to get that shot away, and he just needs to kind of be getting in those positions more and more often. I think obviously Jesus just kind of connects with the team. He's more in sync with us. He kind of knows what it means to be an Arsenal false 9, if you like, because he drops into those deep pockets and then links up play. But I've liked seeing Arsenal being direct with a kind of pure number 9. I think back to Gyökeres' performance against Newcastle, and Newcastle away, by the way, and he looked really, really good. Like there were no mugs. Athletic at home, we beat them 4-0. Gyökeres got a brace. He just needs confidence, and it's one of those things with strikers that once they start getting those goals in, it starts to flow. Like Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he was unlucky today. Like he scored again, but it was offside. He was on a run or something like 6.
What's unlucky? He was offside.
No,
How's he unlucky? No, but it was actually great striker play. That goal he did. Yeah, it was a great goal. Like you can tell he's in form because the way.
That was a finish. My point being, right, that was a finish of a striker who is in form and is enjoying his football right now. And Gyökeres isn't in that boat just yet. And I think he needs a scrappy goal or two. He dispatched that penalty a couple of weeks ago against Everton really, really convincingly. But he needs a nice open play goal to kind of get him going, if you like, again after his injury again. It was just disappointing because I think he had his maybe most complete performance against Burnley. I think in November before his injury, and he came off in half time and he got his goal and he was linking up play really, really well. Arteta was asked this after the Brighton match, do you have concerns about Gyökeres? Like, what are your thoughts about him? And Arteta was convinced, look, he will come good, but he just needs that time to adapt. Would I like Jesus over him? I think my answer, and this kind of includes Kai Havertz in this as well. Like, I'm known to be a bit of a Kai Havertz stan. I'm a big Kai Havertz fan.
I'd use a different word, but yes, carry on.
I think it's courses for courses. depending on the opposition that we're playing, the type of teams that we're playing, that will kind of be a bit of a rotating position, I think, for me. Like if one of them can kind of make that position their own, then by all means, like they should be the kind of starting centre forward. But yeah, like I said, horses for courses. Guys, I think we haven't mentioned this before. A lot of people kind of viewing and kind of in the chats, like if you're watching, please drop a like and a sub to us as well. Really helps the channel, helps the algorithm. So yeah. There's a question from Mo. I think it's probably aimed at you, Zahid. Who would you replace Slot with if it was to go at the end of the season? So even Tamim, who couldn't make the pod today because he had family around, has started to waver in his support of Slot a little bit, actually. And this is before the Leeds match, I think. So yeah, like if he was to leave, who would you replace him with? I guess that's a valid question. Like, who is it?
I mean, I don't think Slot will leave before the end of the season of his own accord. I think he would stay till the end of the season. And I don't see the board sacking him before the end of the season, unless it gets really bad and we go on a long run of losses and we have a really poor performance in both the Champions League and the FA Cup. Who do we replace him with? I mean, the obvious person who's out there who's not being favoured very much at Real Madrid is Xabi Alonso. Like I would have loved to have Xabi Alonso after he left Leverkusen, but it just wasn't right. I don't know if he will come this time round. But it would be the romantic choice for sure. Whether his style of play and what he'll want to do with the team and how much of a reshuffle it will be a massive upheaval for the squad, having a new manager after Klopp, and then bringing all these new additions for them to not get to gel, and then another manager comes in again. It'll be huge. So I don't know if potentially the board will give him another season, because I think there's rumours that he was given a 3-year contract or something by the board. So there's potential that they didn't have long-term ambitions for him anyway. But yeah, I mean, it's yet to be seen what will happen at the end of the season. But yeah, I mean, obviously, as you know, Maresca has now left Chelsea. So he's got his eyes set on City, clearly. And there's rumours that he'd already told Chelsea beforehand that he was already planning to take over at City. And I wonder if that's going to cause any disruptions for City this season as the season goes on. I don't know if Pep would have told the squad, look, I'm only here to the end of the season, blah, blah, blah. Let's see what happens.
Maybe another follow-up question. With the attacking fullbacks, would Glasner work?
I don't think Glasner is the caliber of manager I'd be looking for. If Xabi Alonso's out there, that's the only man I'd want for the job, really.
Okay, fair. I mean, Unai Emery, apparently the best manager in the world. Want to go for him?
He doesn't play with width, though.
Do you know
funny enough, like he plays very, very narrow football, so they like to progress through the middle. Mm-hmm. And Man City actually have kind of copied a very kind of similar style of play by playing a 4-2-2-2. So yeah, just kind of ironic. Sorry, Dag, you had a point.
I said, my biggest fear is that if this is his last season, right?
Well, it's not confirmed. Okay. It's not confirmed yet, but there's rumours.
I got this feeling if Arteta wins, Pep's going to naturally step aside and be like, my apprentice has taken over. And then there's obviously going to be all these all or nothing documentaries from Arsenal fans. Like, oh, yeah, he's the chosen one. And then you guys are going to basically have this easy run for the next few years where you've got no serious competition from Man City. You're going to be facing a Liverpool team in turmoil, United side that's still a bit clueless. And then, unfortunately, Arsenal will end up winning a few Premier Leagues, maybe one Champions League. And then,
inshallah, that'd be nice.
Stuck for love. And then you guys would be falling out here. But and then this podcast would end, actually. We wouldn't bother doing it anymore.
The Arsenal dynasty will be in full motion, man.
I'm a bit surprised about Maresca leaving, though. I thought he was doing a pretty decent-ish job, but I don't know what Chelsea's really looking for since Abramovich is gone.
Well, since their 1-1 victory against Arsenal, I think they've only won one match, and their title charge dissipated like as quickly as they kind of came into the title picture. To be fair, but yeah, Maresca made a comment saying that it was the worst 48 hours of his Chelsea career at some point in December. And the media were speculating that he was talking about the owners, that there was some sort of clash with the owners of some sort. But yeah, what come out in the press today or yesterday rather was he was referring to the medical team. So he was clashing with the medical team at Chelsea, saying that Chelsea players are getting too many injuries. Like so Cole Palmer, hasn't played very many minutes this season, and apparently Maresca was rushing players back from injury before they were ready. So that had part of the decision why that Chelsea sacked him essentially. So yeah.
I mean, who do you think Chelsea might get as their next? Hi, Yusuf.
Yusuf Sack. What's up, Yusuf? You good, bro?
I mean, we haven't spoken about who Chelsea might get as a replacement manager. I mean, they are the biggest team in London with multiple Champions League trophies and Premier League titles.
Not as many trophies as Arsenal. Let's get it right. Let's lay it down.
What is Arsenal compared to Chelsea, bro? Who do you think will go into Chelsea, or does it really matter? Or do you think this is a chance for Fat Frank to kind of make his renaissance?
Well, again.
How you doing, mate? You what? It's Frank Lampard here, mate.
Liam Rosinia is rumored to be the chosen one for this job, which has raised a lot of eyebrows actually, because he didn't have the most glittering of resumes. But again, like I'm a little bit annoyed this happened just before they played Manchester City. But who knows? If you can come in before Sunday, then there may be a new manager bounce there. But yeah, it's just a bit of a weird timing, really.
I think Chelsea are a bit of a weird club the way they run at the moment. Anyway, like with their huge contract lengths that they've been offering, the way that they signed players, the two squads that they had. And yeah, it was just a bit of a weird. I don't think the manager. I think everything above the manager is a little bit strange in terms of how it's going on at the club. And I think Maresca maybe had a battle of managing up rather than managing down in terms of in terms of the administration as opposed to the players. But yeah, I don't know. I guess. I don't know who will come in other than Liam Rosinia. I don't know. They've not really speculated anyone either. So, and I mean, there's no way Fat Frank is coming back after his last outing at Chelsea. I know John Terry is there or thereabouts somewhere, but he's not going to take over the squad. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Chelsea. They're an absolute juggernaut of English football, and I mean, they've got the history to back it.
London, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know what will happen with Chelsea. It'll be interesting to see. But I've never really. It's always been a weird club, at least in recent years.
They do well when they're sort of in a tumultuous position. I mean, didn't they have the same crap going on when they won their second Champions League? I mean, I don't know. Kind of
they were a top four club at that point, man. Huh? They were a top four club at that point. When they won the first Champions League, they were like floundering in the league. They were like 11th or something, and that's what caused UEFA to change the rules. What was hilarious about the first Champions League win was that Tottenham happened to finish fourth, and they took Tottenham's position in the Champions League, and Tottenham happened to go in the Europa League. That was the only good thing about their bought Champions League win, should we say? So. There's going to be some asterisks going around for certain clubs. Before I get sued by anybody, certain clubs, without naming them, but Chelsea have admitted some of their financial misgivings, shall we say, and have been charged formally by the Premier League. So just putting that out there. Just putting it out there that Chelsea has 2 Champions Leagues and Arsenal, the greatest team in the ever, has none. Just putting it out there. Just putting it out there. If anybody in the chat wants to see me violate Daniel for the next 5 minutes, let me know. He's probably going to try and get me back on Sparks' podcast. Shout out to Sparks. But yeah. Sparks.
Oh man, interesting club, Chelsea. They're a bit like Pakistan cricket team, you know. They're just horrible administration and a lot of dodgy money. Oops, I never said that. I guess this is probably the part where we move on to the latter stages of our pod. So, what?
Maybe
I
prediction.
just got a message from my Hinge match. She said she can't meet me tomorrow. Never mind. Story of my life, Bob. I'm being ghosted at 12 o'clock. What are the next fixtures coming up? I haven't got anything on my screen, so I should probably load it up, right?
Well, we've got Bournemouth on Saturday, 5:30 kickoff. Who Liverpool got? Zahid.
Bring it up. The game.
And I think we should do a bit of a preview for Arsenal Liverpool because
Yeah,
it's a bit.
We're away at Fulham actually.
Interesting. We're at Fulham.
So let's see. So you're away at Bournemouth. United are away at Leeds. We're away at Fulham. And then City are at home to Chelsea.
let's start off with Bournemouth Arsenal predictions. I suppose good place to start.
I'll let Zai go first. Honzi.
That's going to be like a 3-0 to Arsenal.
I'm saying 3-0 as well. Yeah.
I think Bournemouth have a very good home record. I think they've been a bit patchy recently. They're like the epitome of like a mid-table club, which is really weird for Bournemouth. Like win 5 in a row and then lose 5 in a row. It's not going to be easy, like especially if Semenyo does play, whether his transfer to City goes through or not, whether he's protected. That's quite a big move happening.
So Bournemouth's last 5 games, they've drawn 4 and lost 1.
Okay.
So that tells you everything you need to know about it. For
okay, I'm gonna go for a 2-0 win.
I love you keeping it humble. You're gonna be like, oh, we just won 4-0.
It's not gonna happen in every single match.
Oh, brilliant. Then as Zaid's mentioned on
but that is in 2 days' time. So
yeah. That'd be interesting. Zaid mentioned on the Sunday, Leeds versus Manchester United. Zaid, you want to start off with your prediction?
I mean, Dominic Calvert-Lewin is on form. Leeds are at home. It's a massive game, Leeds United. Yeah. So
the home fans hate Manchester United. They absolutely hate them.
I should go there.
I could see Leeds winning that 2-1, or it might finish 2-2.
Yeah, I see a draw, like a 1-1 or a 2-2 as well. I agree, Z. What do you think, Dog?
I think Leeds are going to win 1-0. Yeah, and then Sky Sports are going to submit like a Gary Neville podcast for about 20 minutes. I think United side has just finished. That's a terrible impression, sorry. But yeah, United are going to lose 1-0. Easy.
I'm waiting for the day when you like predict a United win. Because it's always United draw or United loss.
Bro, I predicted them beating Grimsby and I got that one wrong. So I have no hope. What are you on about, man? United's a scrub.
It's the most hilarious hate watch of recent memory.
Which one, Grimsby?
One we can agree on that.
I had to call Virgin to cancel my internet. I'm like, listen, I want to be I basically did a done yard from last year. You know, when Arsenal bottled the league, you basically went on do not disturb.
What are you talking about, bro? Like... I was really accessible. Man.
Oh, brilliant. And then obviously we have the big one at 3:00, Fulham and Liverpool. We'll start off with you, Daniel. What's going to be the score for that one?
Fulham are at home. Is that a 3:00 kickoff on Saturday?
Yeah. I think it's us at a time.
Yeah, it's 3:00 kickoff. Yeah.
What are your predictions for that?
We're in pretty good form. I'm going to go draw again, actually. I think it will be like a 1-1 or a 2-2 again. Weirdly, like Liverpool and United are kind of been neck and neck this season. It's so strange.
I'm going to say 2-1 to Liverpool. It'll be a scrappy win, but I think they'll probably put it out of the bag.
Okay, maybe.
Zaid, over to you, sir.
I mean, Harry Wilson. Fulham are basically Harry Wilson FC, pretty much. Like some of the goals he scores and the balls, he's just excellent player.
It was 34-year-old Tom Kearney, who got the equaliser today against Crystal Palace. I was hoping it was Harry Wilson. I got him on my fantasy team. I think for FPL, like everyone has just flopped this game week. I think if you didn't captain Haaland, then you captain Ekitike.
It's
bad game week.
It's been a shocker.
Yeah,
like it was I don't know when the last time it's been. It was literally 3-0
man.
Today. Yeah, it's crazy. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 draws. 10 matches. There were 7 draws this game week.
I think we're speaking about this offline, isn't it? Like that, the quality of the league, I think, is suffering as a result of just too many matches, too much football, too many injuries. Like the quality has kind of decreased, I think. Other than our game, of course, where those 5 games on show.
But at the same time, isn't that the Christmas fixtures, all of that? That's all the part of the Premier League. The difficulty of the Premier League, that Christmas fixtures can make or break a title run and that sort of stuff. So I guess swings and roundabouts. But yeah, in terms of Fulham Liverpool, I see us drawing 1-1 in that game, unless Slot comes out fighting next game week, and I mean he's got 2 days to sort it out. So I don't know what change will happen, but yeah, we'll see.
So you're playing Saturday then, yeah?
Yeah, 3:00 Saturday.
Oh, that's crazy, man! Like literally 2 days rest.
It's 2 days from. How's that? Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I know the feeling, man. It can be very
An evening fixture as well.
That'll be interesting. We'll see how it goes. We've got a question from Mo in the chat. What new record will Amorim break next match? Bro, I don't even know at this stage, man. Like, you're asking the worst, but Daniel Zaid, any comments on that?
So, considering who you're playing,
we're playing Leeds.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what he'll do, to be honest. And if obviously he'll either revert to his back 3, or he'll have to continue on with the 4 at the back. But yeah, I just don't understand why he switched Dorgu from one wing to the other. That just made no sense. And using Xerxes as a winger, like doesn't he know his squad? Like, what is he doing? Is he just gambling and trying things? Like, what? It's ridiculous.
There you go, Mo. You got a very extensive analysis there from Mr.
He'll probably break a record for for being the manager who doesn't know what he's doing for the next game week in a row.
And then we have the big one at 5:30, Manchester City versus a now fatherless Chelsea side. Zaid, your prediction?
I could see it's always that when they're managerless and the players rally round. It's a big game. Obviously, I think as long as I'm guessing Cole Palmer is fit, but he'll be back at his old stomping ground, so he'll have a point to prove. I could probably see this finishing 2-2.
Okay. Daniel?
Well, one could hope, but I just think without a manager being in a job there, I think City will beat them at home. Unfortunately, I think it'll be like a 2-0 or 2-1 or something.
I'm expecting City to put at least 4, so I'm going 4-2 to City. I think Haaland's probably going to get a brace. He's been a bit of a machine, hasn't he? And he'll probably pounce.
I guess when Maresca got sacked, his whole team left, right? So I wonder what they do as a contingency when stuff like that happens. Like, who do they bring in? Or like, how do they continue to the next game? They've got 2 days to sort things out. Like, I don't know what they're going to do.
So that's what I was saying. It's such a weird kind of time to sack a manager. Like, when there's just so many fixtures happening. That's why I don't have any faith in them getting a result on Sunday. I don't know if we're going to meet for our next pod before the Arsenal-Liverpool game. Should we do a bit of a preview, Z?
Sorry, say that again?
Should we do a bit of a preview for Arsenal-Liverpool next week?
All right, let's see when that match is, though. Right?
It's on Thursday.
I mean, I'm not optimistic at all, considering...
I was reminded by a Liverpool fan. I was at the gym earlier, and Liverpool fan was like, "Oh, man, get the Arsenal thing off." And it was like, "You watch next week, bro. You watch next week, man. There's going to be fireworks at the Emirates, Brand." I was like, "All right, we'll see, man. We'll see."
I mean, considering we've not got Salah, considering Isak is out injured, come on. I mean, most likely we're going to lose. And I'm just hoping we aren't thrashed, to be honest. Like I could take a 2-1 loss. Yeah, that's understandable, or 1-0. But if we lose like 4-0, I won't be able to live with it. But I mean, the squad's there. We've got a decent team. We've got Van Dijk and Konate. Frimpong has been playing well. We've got Wirtz and Ekitike who have started to form a relationship up front. So
I was surprised Wirtz was taken off, to be honest with you. Like, you need a bit of creativity, and he gets hooked. But yeah,
I guess he started, and there wasn't enough creativity coming from him.
Yeah.
So yeah, Slot likes to make attacking substitutions, but
No,
I
it
don't
didn't
know.
work.
It's a weird one. And as well, I don't know what's happened to Rio and Gamil. That Trey Nioni is coming on as a sub instead of Rio, considering what he did earlier in the season. It's very strange. But yeah, no, I mean, I think most likely, if I was being realistic, we're going to lose. I think the best I can hope for is a draw. But yeah, I don't see us winning at all at the Emirates. If we do, it'll be because Gabriel goes off injured in like the first minute, or someone gets injured in warm up or something like that.
Which happened at Anfield, by the way, with Saliba.
Yeah. So that's the only way I can imagine something like that happening. How long is Rice out for?
Well, there was rumours that he might have been able to make the Villa match, but the club just didn't want to risk it. So I guess Arteta's press conference will be revealing tomorrow. Let's see if he makes Bournemouth, then obviously he'll be fit for the Liverpool game, or it could be that we're saving him just for the Liverpool match. So hopefully it's not a long-term injury.
About yourself, what do you think will happen?
I don't think it will be a thrashing at all. In some ways, I think this kind of matchup kind of suits Liverpool a little bit. The pressure's off them now to kind of really have a bit of a go. Yeah, like we've got a really, really good record at home. I don't think we've lost at the Emirates this season as well. Yeah, I think it might be a 2-1. But like it all depends on getting out of Bournemouth unscathed, making sure there's no injuries to key players. I'd like to see maybe a little bit of rotation, like gentle rotation for Bournemouth. Saka looked really, really tired. I know he got the crucial assist for Gabriel's goal, but maybe Madueke could come in, maybe Eza for Trossard, and it'd be nice to see those two start fresh for Liverpool next week.
As much as I've loved to criticize Arteta in the years gone by, I mean, he's been absolutely ruthless with Eze. He doesn't track back one man for one goal, and he's just frozen out of the team. It's crazy. He scores a hat-trick against Tottenham, and that matters for nothing.
Yeah. Well, these are the fogging standards, as he said in his documentary, right? Like, and I also believe that Maresca has probably been punished as well for his part in that Villa defeat, because he kind of scuffed a shot in the 94th minute, and then Villa go up the other end of the pitch and score the result. Like, and we haven't seen him gain meaningful minutes since. And I think maybe the Wolves match was the only time him and they kind of started a game after that. So in the Premier League, that is. But yeah, I do think like Arsenal kind of having a bit of a Premier League squad versus Cup squad, if you like. Some question marks have been raised about why Ethan Wanieri, one of our other kind of bright prospects, hasn't been getting any game time at all, even in the League Cup. So yeah, and this is it. Like, some big names are going to be missed out of the squads. Like, if Rice is back, the likes of Norgard or Miles Skelly is going to be dropped from the squad entirely. So this is a situation I don't think I've ever seen Arsenal been in, where we've had like basically, like two players for every position.
What do you do with a player like Norgard? Like, Arteta clearly does not trust him. He can't get into the squad. He's played centre back one game.
He came on
even when Rice is out injured, he still doesn't start. I mean, you're just going to set him at the end of the season? What do you do with him?
Yeah, I mean, he got injured at the beginning of the season, so I kind of felt for him a little bit. And Arteta kind of has this thing where, like, you're either in or you're out. Like, And when you're out, it's very, very hard to kind of break back into his thoughts sometimes. But yeah, he's got a role to play. Like I said, the League Cup will be quite important for him. Portsmouth at home. Arsenal have Khairul Almaty at home, I think, in their last game in the Champions League. So those games, I think, will be quite crucial for him. And yeah, like we saw, like we had a bit of a defensive injury crisis, and he stepped in versus Club Brugge at centre half. So yeah, it's a case of having to kind of like rotate really, and use those players for those positions.
Do you think, Daniel, if Arsenal beat Liverpool, which they will, do you think that's a massive step forward? No, I think they will. I think it'll be a pounding. Do you think they'll be taking a massive step forward?
One could hope.
Pounding. How dare you?
Yeah, I mean, most clubs are beating Liverpool this season, so.
Ooh, shots fired, Zide. Look, he's got the 1,000-yard stare. He's like, why do I support Liverpool for?
No, it will be quite big for our kind of title credentials, I think. Like, a lot of neutral fans and fans like who don't support Arsenal were kind of looking at that Villa match, expecting Arsenal to slip up. In fact, we came through it with flying colours. And now, like, again, this month is a big test for Arsenal. Like, you know, can they beat Liverpool? And then at the end of the month, it is Arsenal Man United as well. So, you know, so some big matches coming up. So let's see. Let's get past Bournemouth first. See how the squad's looking, and then hopefully we can get that win versus Liverpool.
Yeah, we shall see. I think that's everything for today. Unless I'm mistaken. Anything else you guys want to recommend? Any non-football related? I'm doing okay. Thanks for asking. Trying to make sure I keep on going. Just kidding. But we have an exciting few weeks coming up anyway in the Premier League. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Hopefully we can wipe that smile off Daniel's face. Or non-violent, I should say. Football related. Unlike most of you Arsenal fans, you may come for me. But yeah, that's everything from us. Please make sure if you've enjoyed this content today, click on that like button. If you want to see more of us rather handsome people, click on the subscribe button, and we'll continue to churn out as much content as we can, all things related to football, and hopefully, inshallah, Arsenal's downfall. That's us. You're shaking his head like, why did I let him host today? So definitely not. A bit of charity in it. You made a mistake, bro. You've unleashed the beast. But yeah, that's us from the Clash of the Reds podcast. Until next time, look after yourself, stay safe, and Bismillah.
Over and out.